And like when you get projects, do you get projects like from the agents or from the corporate company itself? Like how does that work? Or there's a step by step process even there.
So majority of the time, it's you're gonna be freelance. So a lot of the stuff are freelance unless you work specifically for like TMZ and stuff like that. They may give you like a tip and say, "Hey, Timothy Chalamet is going to be at NBC today. Make sure you go try to get an interview of him." But for the majority of the time, it's all going to be freelance work that you're doing. It's going to be freelance. You're going to have to do your own information. You really become a private detective, just depending on how you do it. Because the more exclusive the video or the photo is that you get, the more pay you get. So the people that the paparazzi that are working at the events and stuff like that, you don't get paid that well. You get like $50 per photo. I did my first big one was Sabrina Carpenter and Barry Keegan, and that one went for about 20 grand. It took me about a week to sit on it. Yeah, it took me a week,
20
20
grand?
grand, 20 grand,
Wow.
20
Wow.
grand off of the photos because, again, like I said, the media wants certain things. So they were a new couple. They'd never been photographed together. They never had any romance, and it was the first time that they were seen. Seen together, holding hands. Just a A-list couple coming together. And that one's actually in People magazine. So I ended up getting a magazine, one of my photos published in People magazine, which is one of my greatest accomplishment to this day because I actually wrote it down that I would be doing something like this. And when you write things down, it becomes a spell. So anybody out there that's listening, make sure you write your stuff down so you can see it and manifest it. Because the more you write it down, the better it'll come to life.
Yeah, I mean, I've just taken a small segue away from photography, but whenever we have worked, I've spent a lot of time with you at your house. I've always seen you having like a big, dry erase border, and you always had like step by step plan. It could be as detailed as call my family every day,
Correct.
um, thank God every day, drink like
Yes.
this much every day. It was very detailed, and every time I came there, I saw something new, something up the list, something below the list. Like, is it just because like you're more of a visual person and you believe that seeing that makes everything come to reality?
Correct. Absolutely. That's exactly what it is. When you see it, and then also you see it so you don't forget it.
Mm,
Because a lot of times we go through life and we're doing this, and you can get caught up doing so many different things. You got a nail in your car, you got hit, somebody's sick, or the girl, the lady you're trying to talk to, she's talking to somebody else, and then you forget all the things that you were focused on, and then it kind of you stir away from it. So having it written down, was one of my biggest things. Is I wrote it on a whiteboard, and like Ragu said, it could have been as small as pray more, talk to family more, which is really actually on the board. So those aren't things that he's just making. I literally have these on the board.
I saw
And
that on
then
your bird. Yeah, I remember seeing that on your bird.
yeah, be happier, was another one. Gain more real estate, and again, these things are just to look at so your brain can say, okay, well, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, because sometimes you can get a little cluster brain and, it won't sit with you. But if you're seeing it every day and you're looking at it and you're focused on it, you can't really much focus. I think this is another part that I have to segment. Don't focus on when things are supposed to happen. Just focus on doing certain things within that list. Because just like I think I wrote on that board maybe like 3 years ago to get published. And it took me about 3 years to this date to get published. So it didn't matter the timeline that it happened, it still happened, you know. And another part that I would like to say is dream bigger, dream bigger. As soon as that happened and I seen that I was able to, as soon as I see my whiteboard and I saw it to get published and I actually got published, I got back to the board and I wrote make $100 million. Because why not? Let's put that up there too. So hopefully we'll fall on that or we'll fall higher, but we'll fall somewhere in between. But at that point, just the manifestation of it will happen. You know,
Yeah, that's amazing. Like, recently I read a quote, something similar. It said, if you're not dreaming big, if your dreams doesn't scare you, then you're not dreaming big enough.
absolutely,
right?
Absolutely, and
So
that's and a part of that, to piggyback off of what you said, a lot of people will make sure that you dream small. So you have to be very, very careful who you tell your dreams to and who you try to push to dream higher. Because sometimes they'll come back and be like, "Oh, well, I don't think that you could be a Hollywood director, or I don't think that you could do this," or and then they kind of just portray, they put on their negativity onto your whole positive. Like, how do you know what I can do? So try not to share too much with people that don't have the same ambition and purpose and the same kind of dreams. If they're not dreaming, their biggest dream is to have a white picket fence and a dog and eat Starbucks every day. And, like, you can't tell them that you want to be a Hollywood producer and travel the world and see all the 70 states by the time you're 21. Like, they won't even understand that. They were like, see all the states. I want to try all the drinks at Starbucks. Like, wait, what? We have two different realities going on here. Two different realities.